Very good afternoon and welcome to Racing International. We head out to the Vale today on Thursday and we have 9 races on the card. Racing on the outside track now. We raced there on Tuesday and normally there we tell you because all the races are up the straight. We normally tell you middle to outside, that's the best draw. Now, I was chatting to Julie Alexander, who was working on course on Tuesday, and she said, Rod, did you see all the winners? I said, Julie, they're all coming up the inside to middle. She said, 100%. I said, why do you think that was? She said, she went and had a look at the outside track, and it's a little bit chopped up at the moment, and the horses seem to have the better going middle to inside. So we're going to lean that way today. Let's hope Julie's right. She hasn't been for quite a while. All right, let's have a look at weather here. It looks clear. It's nice outside. Chilly nights here in Joburg, but certainly very pleasant days, around about 20 to 22 degrees. Penetrometer 20, so racing will be good. But as I said, we're going to try the middle to inside. The occasional one I'll chip up the outside who's got a bit of early speed. All right, first on the card is over the 1,400 metres. It's a maiden juvenile plate for the 2-year-olds. And I'm going to go with a first-timer here for the Mike de Kock stable, Navarro. That's 16 to 10. There's money for it, but I'm never sure with the money with the Mike de Kock stable because whatever he sends out first time, the bookmakers never take a chance. They're very scared over here. They're worried. He produces some top horses, nicely bred individual, and I'm going to put my nose down. Not a strong race at all here. Number 1, Captain Sydney, another well-bred individual. They found betting support last time out. Here's the comment from the Finsale stable. They're changing tactics today. They were very disappointed, but they're expecting a much better run, and this one's drawn down the inside in barrier 1. Number 3, Hope Eternal, Craig Zaki. Now here's one at a decent price. Have a look at this one, a decent old price here, but the word is from the Tyrone Saki stable. They're expecting a much better run today. They're expecting it to run into the first 4, so quite confident and priced up pretty big there at 20 to 1. All right, we're looking for another one, and number 5, I'm going to throw in here Prince of Savoy. That's got Andrew Fortune aboard and improved over further last time when they put it over the 1,450 metres. Actually ran a much better race there, even though beaten 5 lengths. As I said, strong jockey, but not a very strong field here. Race 2 on the card is a juvenile plate for the fillies and the mares. For the 2-year-olds, over the 1,400 metres. And number 6, Queen Anne. That's going to be well-bred individual here. Now, watch out for this stable. Paul Peter sends this one out with Sherman Brown aboard. They are a punting stable. Currently priced up this morning at 8:30 as I chat to you. It's currently priced up at 5 to 2. Now, it's a small field with 7 and 8 out at the moment. Let's hope there's no more scratchings, so only 6 going to post. Number 1, Blue Light Convoy, 28 to 10. This is drawn in barrier 4. Certainly has a chance of running in the place. That's from the Gary Alexander stable. They said they will see nice improvement. Well beaten last time on debut by 8 1/4 lengths. 2, Frozen from the Brett Warren stable. Well, here's a horse that had the 1 gallop under the belt. Found a bit of outside support, to be fair, on debut. 25s into 16s. Was always handy enough to be competitive, but didn't quite go on. But was reported after the race that it was in season and raced very green. So look for more improvement. And I tell you what, this has found the betting support now into 22 to 10. Number 3, Half a Bar. Wes Mowing jumps aboard this one for his uncle stable, Wyo Mowing. Now they're looking for improvement here. It was very disappointing on debut and well beaten by 13 lengths, but firm in the market and not a strong field. And there's only 6 runners, so we've got to pick 4. Race 3 on the card. It's over the 1,200 metres straight. All right, it's a maiden plate for the fillies and the mares. And this one, number 6, Invincible Flame, the Australian bred from the Mowing stable. Now, they're bringing it back to the 1,200. It's only had the 2 gallops. My first one was back on the 12th of November. Good support in the market that day when going off favourite. A little disappointing, beaten 3 1/4. Then they tucked it away, gave it a bit of a spell, brought it back on the 31st of March, and once again, firm in the market and disappointed again when beaten 6 1/4. But I'm going to certainly put it in. The stable says working extremely well and a big runner today. So there you go. It is second run after rest, and they're bringing it back to the 1,200 metres. Number 1, Captured Quality, very short price favourite. I can't take this price, 15 to 20. Now, it's had the already 5 runs under the belt, had 2 placings, but been well beaten in its last 2 outings when well fancied. So I'm not going to take that. I'm going to try and beat it with number 6. Number Number 7, Le Mans must have a chance. It was firm on debut when coming out over the 1200. That was on the inside track at Turfentine. Put up a fair gallop, showed speed from the gate over the 12 and just faded out late in the last sort of 100 metres or so. Showed plenty of pace but raced a bit green, so look for more improvement there. 9 must have a squeak from the Stanley Ferreira stable. Nicely bred individual. There's not too much else in the race, to be fair, so I can see that one certainly fighting out for that third place. Race 4 on the card is a maiden plate, and we're going over the 1400 metres. Arpad's where I'm going here, short price favourite, looks the right one. They gelded it and they brought it back after the gelding on the 19th of April, put it over the 1450 metres. Always raced up in the pack there and actually ran on quite strongly, only going down a quarter of a length to Doozy Moon. Now there's another run if you go back 3 starts ago behind Dragoon. Nice run that one, only beaten 3/4 a length, and there's already been 2 winners out of that form line. Well, if it does fluff its lines, and I don't think it will, well, certainly number 11 won't have to be that good in a pretty moderate field here. It's called Hideaway. This is a son of Starcraft, New Zealand sire. Gets a claim of the apprentice off the back and only has to carry now 53.5. So this won't have to be too good to be pretty competitive here. Number 6, Dragon's Breath. Blinkers go on today, please note that. And the stable are saying they're expecting to finish in the top 3. And they're pretty bullish about this. And it's a nice price for the trifectas at 12-1. Drawn nicely down the inside because we're going to lean towards that side today in barrier 3. Thought you'd throw in number 7 as well from the Sean Terry stable with Samunga Kamalo aboard, having its 3rd run back after a gelding. Hasn't shown that much so far in the 2 runs, but I'm looking for a bit more improvement and another one at a bit of value at 14-1. Race 5 on the card is a merit-rated 68 handicap. Excuse me, we're travelling over the 1400 metres and I like a bit of this one today, number 2, Musical Man. Now, they brought it back on the 13th of February and ran it over the 1450, disappointing. They put it straight away again, brought it back on the 21st of April, and there was money around for this, 25-1 into 7-1. They thought they were going to pull it off, and certainly didn't they? The boys all made the money, won comfortably by 2 3/4 lengths, was a course and distance winner, but that was in the yielding game. They're going to be on top of the ground today, but I still like it in this field, even though it's drawn a bit wide in barrier 12. I reckon just a bit of a suggestion, as you go through the race meeting, keep an eye on where they're winning, inside, middle or outside, because as I said, we normally tip them up the outside, but we're going towards the inside today. All right, number 1, King and Empire. Andrew Fortune jumps aboard. Now, the stable are very bullish, and here's the comments. They'll definitely finish in the first 2, so these 2 should really fight it out. Gary Alexander stable, very confident of a good run today. All right, number 5, Delugio. Matthew Thackeray. Apprentice doesn't claim here. 5 priced up at 5-1. Now, this also is drawn on the outside, so that's what I'm saying. Keep an eye on where they're winning by the time you get to this race. Looking for one more to throw in for your trifectas. Here's a comment from the Mike Azzi stable. Working well, certainly has a place chance, but also drawn a bit wide if it works out for what they did on Tuesday in barrier 16. Race 6 on the card is over the 1400 metres. Merit rated 68 handicap, and number 1 Truly. Well, I thought it was a pretty good run straight out the maidens behind Musical Man, who we already tipped in the previous race. So I've got to go with this. It was only beaten 3 1/4 lengths. Drawn down the inside in barrier 4. Markov and Rensburg jumps aboard. I must admit I gave Devar, number 2, a chance from the Ormond Ferrara stable. They tried it with the blinkers last time for the first time, and it actually went on to win a very nice race, start to finish over the 1450. That was on the inside track though at Turfentine. Now has to contend with the long straight. Been 3 winners already out of that form line. Now here's maybe one to consider at 8-1. General Misty, the Australian bred from the Mike Azzi stable. Now here's his comment. Working unbelievable at home and disappoints when it comes to the track. He also said that one of these days is going to spring that work to the course and will probably win a race like this quite comfortably. So he's quite bullish on its work, but it just doesn't quite deliver, and it's having its 2nd run after the gelding. Thought number 3, Crimson Magic. Carl Zechner, 6-1. Well, not a bad effort last time. Ran on quite well. If you consider it was 2nd last at the 800 metre mark. Got going late. That was in the soft going, no yielding going, and actually was a good run there, only finishing 3 1/4 behind. Race 7 on the card is a merit-rated 80 handicap, travelling up the straight of 1,000 metres. And I tossed and turned this race. I changed my mind a few times, but I settled on number 2, Manx Park. Goes okay. It's got actually a good record when you look at it. 19 starts for 6 wins and 4 placings. Now, it's jumping up here. It's been running in a merit-rated 96, 2 starts, going to merit-rated 91. So it's dropping down in class, but obviously goes up in the weights. 61.5 kilos on its back, and certainly been taking on stronger and got up to win a nice race against stronger company. All right, if the 61.5 catches it out, well, I'm hoping it won't, number 7, Magical, certainly won't be too far away from the Leon Erasmus stable. Ran in the Man of War feature race 2 starts ago and actually put up a decent run there. Wasn't really fancied too much, and I only went down just under 2 lengths. Then followed up with a cracking run in a merit-rated 80 last time, only going down quarter of a length. Must have a chance, and it's a bit of each-way value here at 6 to 1. Number 5, Just Africa, claims the 2.5 off the back and brings it in with 56.5 now. So it's got a reasonable weight there. Had a run in the yielding going last time. Showed plenty of speed, was up the handy and just faded out late. I think it'll be better on top of the ground today. I found another one here that could certainly have a squeak for the top 3. Third run after rest is number 10, Chief Sue from the Roy Magnus stable. You know, third run back, tried it with the blinkers last time. Nice run when only going down a length. Look for more improvement. And if we're right with the draws today, maybe middle to inside is where to go. It's actually drawn nicely in barrier 4. Race 8 on the card is a merit-rated 83 handicap. Over the 1,600 metres, and number 6 is what we're liking here, Bahar. That's what you say, Bahar. There we go. We were debating this in the studio. It's from the Mike de Kock stable. It's an Irish-bred individual with mowing aboard it. Quite firm in the market, but I don't think it's a bad price here. It's not a strong field, and I think 28 to 10 is a pretty fair price. Are there dangers? I'm not too sure, but I'm going to look for a few horses to run into the money at reasonable value here, and a decent draw in barrier 5. Currently priced up at 10 to 1 with young Callan Murray, the apprentice who doesn't claim anymore, but I tell you what, they've got big raps on this kid. Number 1, Counterstroke. It's got a change of jockey here. Craig Zaki jumps aboard it. Ian Sturgeon not riding today. Now, this one's got the tongue tie on today and currently priced up at 12 to 1. It's had 3 runs back from arrested, won its first one back, and it's put up 2 reasonable gallops. And in this sort of field, I certainly wouldn't be leaving it out. And it's won its only start over the course and distance. Number 4, King's Archer, Marco van Rensburg. Drawn out wide, so let's see how we go with those draws today in barrier 12. But certainly been ultra consistent in its last 4 outings, not finishing far behind, and they're putting it out to the 1,600 metres today. Race 9 on the card is a merit-rated 69 handicap, travelling over the 1,600 metres, and number 2, Wazimadota from the Lucky Hudalaka stable. Change of jockey here. Please note there's Andrew Fortune. He jumps aboard. Now, it is drawn out wide in barrier 11, but it's got enough early speed, I think, to get across to where the best going is. Nice price at 3 to 1. Course and distance winner, and certainly has. I'm hoping we get a bit of 4 to 1 each way. Righto, where the dangers at 5 to 1 with JP van der Merwe aboard is certainly number 4, Roving Jet from the Mike Azzi stable. We now got up to win a nice race 2 starts ago. Picked up a little bit of a penalty there of 3 kilos. And last time out had every chance and didn't quite quicken in that vent. That was over the 1,700 metres around the turn. Comes back up the straight today and certainly has a bit of each way of a chance. All right, number 3, this is from the Ormond Ferrara stable. Even though it's coming off that break of 63 days, if it doesn't need the run, its form's good enough, but now we're just hoping that draws on the outside aren't as bad as we're thinking. All right, and looking for another one, number 10, certainly worth throwing in here, Mr. Balboa. Here's the comment from the Mike Azzi stable, working nicely and certainly has a place charmed with Carl Zechner. They're certainly on a high at the moment, the stable winning the Triple Crown this year, and they must be very confident indeed. Certainly included, priced up at the moment at 7 to 1, but a very, very open race. Include as many as you can afford, especially playing the trifectas or quartets. Yeah, looks a pretty competitive card. Now, we had a look what happened on Tuesday out at the Vale. We started off with a bang with the first 3 or 4 winners, all arriving, all quietly fancy. But goodness me, didn't the wheels fall off after that? We had roughie after roughie after roughie. Made it very tough indeed. Let's hope that doesn't happen today. We're going to be putting up all our selections at our Twitter account at Racing in Tips. From myself, Rod McCurdy, and all the team here, we wish you a very successful punting afternoon.